Hello everyone, I have another video for you today. I'm sorry I wasn't here on my regular Tuesday schedule video. However, I recently upgraded my laptop to Windows 11 and for some reason it decided not to communicate with my video program. So I had to call someone because it was something I couldn't really figure out. So anyway, I'm actually filming this today, which is Saturday, October 11th, and I will be uploading it for our Tuesday schedule. Before I get started on the card we're doing today, my name is Sherry Minnie. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Colorado in a little town called Keensburg, which is kind of a rural but growing fast little town. Unfortunately, we're kind of losing our small town rural feeling because we've had so many housing developments and so forth go up around us. But anyway, I wanted to show you offhand a couple of cards I've been working on. Like I said, we are a farming community and we have a farm, and so I love this stamp set. It's called Tractor and Co. It is in the annual catalog, and it's just got these fun things to do with tractors and lots of different things that you can put in the little trailer. I made this one in colors of blue, and I have made these into birthday cakes, or I'm sorry, how about birthday cards? And you could make it into just about anything that you want, but I just did birthday. And then here's another one. My husband is a big John Deere guy. Their colors are green and yellow, and this is not real authentic, but it kind of gives you an idea. And so this is my interpretation of a John Deere tractor. And in this one, I just put hay in the back of it with the corn. And this one, I did the pumpkins. And I was going to do a video on this, but there's so many pieces, and I knew it would take a really long time for us to get done. So I don't like to have my videos be too long. So I decided that we were going to use a stamp set that I do like. I hadn't used yet. It's called Peaceful View, and I made also into a birthday card. But again, this is something, actually this is kind of generic. You could make it into a birthday or anything else because it just says, "Oh, happy day," and then I put on the inside, "Wishing you good things." So this is the card that we're making. Pardon me, I'm going to grab a little drink of water here, and hopefully I won't start having the froggy throat thing. So here's the product, the stamp set that we're using, and I have most of these mounted on a stamp positioner. This is called Peaceful View. This is in the 25-26 annual catalog, and as always, if you see anything here that you are interested in, you can always go to my online store, sherryminnie.stampinup.net. This card with all the details will be posted on my blog, simplylovestampin.com, sometime before Tuesday. And this is my email, suaddicted@gmail.com. So here's the Peaceful View. It's a single stamp. The longest part about this is getting it inked up so you get a nice clear image, nice dark image, I guess I should say. Then we're also using the stamp set that I'm using more and more here lately. It's called More Messages. And I'm using this one right here that says, "Oh, happy day." And then it's cut out with the dies. And what I did is I just positioned this die over my stamp. I actually stamped it on here to kind of position it. And then I positioned my paper over it. Put this on the Stampin' Cut and Emboss and run it through. So really all I got was this. I didn't want all of these other ones. And I've used this one a lot here lately. And again, this was an online exclusive, and as far as I know, it is still available. So that's our stamps. We are using 2 ink colors today. One is Secret Sea, which we'll use for the tree, and the other one is Pumpkin Pie. I have a little Stampin' Spot in Secret Sea that I'm going to use for inking up the main image. We're going to use this punch. This is a new one. It just came out. When did this? Actually, it's going to be available in November. This is brand new. I just ordered it as a demonstrator. We get to order things a month earlier than customers. And I really do like this, and I think this is going to be a permanent fixture in my stash because I love banners. And we're also using, here's the designer series paper that we're using. It's called Splendid Autumn. It is a 6x6 and it is still current. And it has just a lot of different fall images, all very pretty, kind of scene, watercolor scene. And as always, on the back side, they do a more subtle, solid kind of pattern. And even if I don't like the fall image, I definitely like most of these colors because I do love fall. So that's what we're using. And let's see, and the only other thing I have left to show is what we're using for dimensionals. These are called Two-Tone Sparkle. They are on the last chance list, so I need to get these used up before they become retired, but they are still available on last chance. We'll also be using a blending brush just to do a little bit of blending, not very much at all. So to get started, here's your packet. I do not believe we are not doing this card in class. It just takes too long to get everything inked up, and I don't like to keep my classes going. You'll have a couple of little pieces of designer series paper, one for the inside and one for the envelope. You'll have a basic beige card base. This is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. You'll have two pieces, or I'm sorry, yeah, we should have two pieces, yes. 2 pieces of pumpkin pie. One piece is 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. This is going to be for the inside. And you'll have one piece that is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, and this is going to be for your front label. You'll have a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by 5, and that's going to be for the inside. Then you'll have a little scrap of another little scrap of basic white. This is just to stamp your greeting on and punch it out. And I think that's all that we need. So I'm going to start off with starting to ink up the big stamp here. We're not going to do the whole thing. I've actually already done one. I had to do this. I wanted it really dark, and so I had to do this about 4 times. And it does take some time, and I needed to make sure that my ink pad was very well inked. Actually, very much on the juicy side, and I just re-inked it, so it may not take quite as long. And then all you do is, and it definitely is something you want to put on a stamp positioner because you do have to do it so many times and you don't want it to move around on it. And so then I just put it down and I put some pressure on it, probably more pressure than I would normally. And I'm going to do this just a couple of times to show you. And yeah, this is a little darker because I just did re-ink my pad. So let me do it one more time, and then I'll show you the one that I completed. Now this is a 6x6 piece of paper, so you have to cut it down for your card front, but I wanted to make sure that I got all of the image, and then I could decide what parts of it I wanted to use. And the nice thing about the stamp positioner, I can come back to this and finish it when I'm ready to make this card. And actually a couple of times it's not too bad on that one. That looks pretty decent. I wouldn't maybe even have to do another one, but that's how you do it. And I'll put this away so it doesn't take up so much of my room. Now the other things we're going to stamp are, I will do my inside greeting on here. Oops, sorry, don't know why I opened that. Oops, I don't like that. This pad, since it's so juicy, I have to be very gentle with my pressure on my greeting. There, that's much better. Oh, I don't like that either. Sometimes when they're too juicy, it's hard to get a really good image. Let's try, you know what I'm going to do? Since it's photopolymer and I should have been doing this, I'll put my little sponge thing under it. That probably will help. There, that's what I'm after. All right, now the other thing that we could do, but I'm not really going to do, well, I can, no, I don't think yeah. So the reason I have my little stamping spot is, here is the stamp that I want to use, and I only want to use this Oh Happy Day. And if I try to ink it with my big pad, with this big pad, then I end up with ink everywhere. So I just took a little stamping spot, and these are available, and you can ink them with any re-inker. And I just took this, inked up this part. I put my, actually I'm going to do it on the side that I messed up because I already have one done for us. And I put it on this, over the part that I'd stamped on my grid sheet. Place this down, and it's not going to look right because I don't have it positioned correctly, but you'll get the idea. And I did that. And then there's the Oh Happy Day. And then I took this die, the More Messages die, and I placed it over that, and I ran it through my Stampin' Cut emboss machine, and that's how I got this little piece right here. And that's what we're going to be putting on the front of our card. Okay, so I think we'll just finish up with all of our stamping and get that out of the way. So what we're going to do, oops, I need to take my, I need to get my greeting. We will open up the stamp, or the punch, sorry. And I always do, I do them upside down so I can see. And I'm just gonna line this up in here, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And what I do is I put a little pressure on, and then I line it up the way I want, and then I just punch it out, like so. And you get a little trash with it, but it's okay. And then I did a little, excuse me, I need another drink. Sorry, I guess it's my thirsty morning. So we're done with the punch. And then I wanted to put a little bit of color on it so it wasn't quite so white. So I took both of them. I took my pumpkin pie. I took my blending brush. Now with the blending brush, you always want to start off of your project because otherwise you'll get a big gump. And I'm just using really light pressure because I don't want this dark. I just want the hint of pumpkin pie on here. And if I want it a little darker, like at the bottom, I just put a little more pressure, and then just very, very light pressure. I know you probably can't see that. And then I did the same thing with this one, only I wanted really light, so I barely even touched it. Just enough to kind of let it, make it stand out. And then I also, on some of them, I just took my pad, took my saying, my greeting, and just did this. And if I had a marker, I could do the inside piece. I don't know if I can. Let's see how dangerous I can be here. I guess I could do it this way. I'd get a little bit on there. Okay, there we go. That's all I did. Now we are done stamping. And we can start putting it together. So here is the completed one that I did with the scene on it. So it's nice and dark. We're going to take and mount this on here, and I'm going to use my green cap glue because this is such a narrow border, and I don't do well with narrow borders unless I can move them around a little bit. So I'm just going to take this. Card goes together very quickly once you get the main image all inked up and ready to go. And we're going to take this and just try to get it on here somewhat straight. There are some days when my eye seems to see things straight and some days when it doesn't. And this morning has been one of those not so straight days, so maybe this will improve with doing this. I don't know. Okay, and then this is going to go on the front of our card. We're having a very cool fall day today. Actually, the whole next week is only supposed to be in the 60s, but we've had one of the nicest autumns, or fall, whatever you want to call it, that I can remember in a while. We haven't even had a freeze yet, and it's the 10th of October. So we've been doing pretty well in the temperature department. Okay, now we're going to take our piece that we're going to have for the inside, and I have this little scrap of, goodness, my fingers won't pick it. This little scrap of designer series paper. You could use either side, but I choose to use this side. And I'm going to take my stamp and seal, just go along the bottom. I always make them longer because I like to trim them with the sides so that everything is covered all the way across. There will be a whole bunch of new bundles, papers, embellishments, everything coming out in October, or I'm sorry, wow, November, on the online exclusives, and some of them are really very, very neat. I like them a lot. Okay, now we're going to take this, and I just want to see how much of a border I have. Once again, it's pretty small, so I'm just going to use my liquid glue. I hope the lighting's okay today. It's kind of overcast. And we may actually get some moisture today. Not snow either. Still rain. Yay! I'm not ready for snow. Okay, there we go. And then this is going to go on the inside. This one I have a nice border, so I can use this adhesive. Although I usually use the other one more times than not, but and then this, and I actually, if I have my tweezers here, and I do, I'm going to put this on with a little bit well, that's interesting. I guess I'm going this how I stamped that and got it lined up on both sides the same, I have no idea, and it didn't really matter. We're just going to stick it on here. Okay, now we'll take this, our front greeting, or oh happy day, and we're actually going to put some golly, why am I calling things wrong today? We're going to put dimensionals, and I put 2 just because that's the way I roll. We'll take the backs off. And we will take and put this on the front of our card. And I chose to put it up here in the corner because I didn't want to interfere with this scene. I don't know if you noticed the little bird here. I don't know if you can even see that on there. It's kind of hard. But anyway, love the little bird. Now the only other thing we have to do, I need to put my lid on my glue. And we're going to take some dimensional, or golly, sorry, I do know how to talk, but not today. We're going to take some embellishments. And these come in 2 sizes. So I'm going to put a big one up here. And they're kind of iridescent, so they pick up the colors that are around it. And I do kind of hate to see these go because I really did like them. But I'm going to get them used up. And I chose to do it like this. I did the other one. Oh, I guess I did the other one the same way. Okay, and then the only other thing we have left to do is to take our envelope, and we're going. Now, I don't like to have glue all over my table, so I kind of get a little anal about how I do this. And I just take this, I put a mark on it, because I want to make sure that this is glued down really well for the post office, because they do not like it when it's not. And then I'm going to use it. I should have put my cap back on. I'm going to use this again. And I just go along here, and then that way I don't have any, or if I have any excess glue, it's very, very small amount, and I don't have to get it all over everywhere. Okay. And then I'm just going to stick this on here, top to bottom, with a little bit of space on the edge, a little bit of a border on the edge. Try and get it straight. Okay, and we'll have to just turn this over. Trim it off. Do a little cleanup. Always got to clean up. That's the bad part about anything you go to do. You got to clean up. Okay, here's the one that we just completed. And here's the one I did as a sample. It has a little bit of a different embellishment, but they're both very pretty. So I hope you enjoyed the card. I enjoyed making it. I'll be making more of these and use them for other things. I think it would make a really nice sympathy card also. So thank you so much for taking time to watch this. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate your time. Whether you choose to watch this in the daytime or the evening, it is greatly appreciated. And may God bless each and every one of you, and I hope to see you next week. Bye-bye.